Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Crystal and this is Books Forever After, where I sit on my floor and we talk about everything and all things books. And today we are going to talk about the final TBR of 2025. It is the final TBR, December TBR, and I know I really didn't post really anything last month. The loss of a family member and just timing and things like that, the holidays, just didn't really feel like it. So I need to take the break, and so we're back, and I am not going to be over ambitious and try to do something like Bookmas or anything like that. I don't think I can do that, but I am going to do my best to try to put as many videos out as possible. I'm gonna take what I can, but yeah, so we'll have all that. I feel like the problem that I have is I don't have a problem filming, it's the time to edit. So I've already have a video that I did back in September that you'll be seeing Friday, so December 5th, so you'll see that one, which the timing of it is kind of strange, but it is what it is. And so some references may be a little out of date, but you know, whatever. Yeah, we'll see all the end of the year content. I'm really excited for that and see what else everybody's like favorite of the years and things are happening. Still figuring out the exact like which ones will be going first, like all that kind of a thing. So if there's anything in particular that you would like to see, please let me know and comment down below what you would like to see from me. I really am just going to do my best to do what I think I want to talk about on, you know, best, worst, you know, top 10 historicals and top 10 fantasy romances. Really where I'm leaning towards. So, and I'll probably do like every 5-star that I read this year as well. So the timing of it is weird because I still have hope and faith that I'll still have some more for December. And I don't want to do those lists prematurely. So we'll see on the timing for those ones when exactly that will happen. Probably the last week of December. I'm guessing that would be preferable. So that way you could really narrow it down and see if you have any surprises that could happen and make it, you know, because like what's the worst thing that would happen? My mind goes to the very last book I read in 2025 ends up being my all-time favorite of the year, and I don't want to jinx myself, so I think I'm gonna wait for those ones. But yeah, I'll have other things to post during that time. But yeah, if there's anything that you can think of that you want to see in particular we talk about for end of the year stuff, let me know. I'll be happy to add that to it because I'm still of them that I can just shift around and move around to January things as well at this point. So for December, I am going to be very intrigued to see how much of my 10 before the end that I could actually accomplish. And I think I've got it to almost half of that already that I read in November. So we're not doing too shabby. We'll talk about those ones first, and then we'll talk about the book club books, and then finally do a TBR jar. For the last one. The white ones here, as you'll see, are the ones that you guys gave me prompts for. They're just other prompts. The pink is the historical romances, my 25 and 2025, which is going to just shift to something else for 2026. So it's just going to shift to the books that I read for historical romances for 2026. I'll add some more to that. Too many of the white, I don't want to do any of the white prompts yet because these are going to be led to be focused starting in January. So we'll start doing more heavily focused TBR jars along with other like goals and such I'll be talking about, you'll see from me. And so the only thing else that's missing here is the YA fantasies, like the YA fantasies I talked about previously. I'll link those down below, as well as the fantasy romances that or like priority TBR that I'd like to get to start those series and things like that. So I will be putting those in, start for January, and I think that's all I'll be doing. Anything that's going to be continuing a series, I think it's going to be easier because it's going to shift throughout the year. I'll probably just do a spinner wheel thing that I do at that time. That is the progress made on the TBR jar. I know we kind of lost track with this, with everything that, you know, happened in my personal life. So those are all there. So quite a bit to fill this up and still a little bit more room to fill more. So we will use this today to at least pull my very last book for the TBR because I do have 8 books to talk about. And the reason why I'm talking about 9 books is because I believe I only have 10 books left for to make my reading goal. So just to get started and we'll talk about some of the carryover from the 10 before the end. But the first one we're talking about wasn't on that list, and what I am currently reading, and that is Bonded by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen. I am about 25% through. I just started it earlier today, so making really good progress for that. And yeah, this is a Beauty and Beast fairy tale retelling. It's really close to that, but it's more with a spicy nod as well to that. So it's like a why choose as well. Looking forward to this one. And then leftover from the 10 before the end. This is the one I'm probably going to start after that. I'm not sure. I'll probably read historical. I gotta switch it up every now and then because it's too much fantasy in a row. It's just too much for me. I gotta go back and, split it up with some historical romance or something else. But anyway, this is book 2 in the Legacy series. This is Storm and Secrets and Sorrow by Melissa K. Roerick. I was hoping to get to this so I could read the whole series as part of my 10 before the end. I think that's where I'm going to struggle the most, is to be able to finish the whole series, but we'll do as best as I can. Unfortunately, I just have so much fantasy on my TBR for December. Book 2, and then hopefully I read book 3 and 4, but at least if I can get to book 2 would be great. And then next is this is part of the 10 before the end, Shadows and Storms, final book, trying to finish a series. This is by Hill and Shores. This is Blood and Steel was the first one. We've talked about this one several times. Don't want to rehash that one. And then we have In the Shadows by L.B. August. This was the author I got to meet at the Ohio Book Con, Big Ohio Book Con, and I want to read this one as well so I can get more of those local authors read. This one is by L.B. August, In the Shadows. And then we have Kerrigan Byrne, the final series in the Victorian Rebels series, which is the Duke with the Dragon Tattoo. This has like a river pirate or pirate in general. Not too sure, but I do know that it has like captive kind of tropes in it. So looking forward to that. Can't believe I'll finally be finishing the series, and it's almost going to break my heart just a little bit, but I'm looking forward to reading this one. I've actually adored The Highwayman and I can't wait to finish it with this one. Alright, and then the other ones are ones I'm going to have to read as like an ebook. And the 3 here on my list before we do the TBR jar, primarily 2 of them are going to be Kindle Limited, which is A Holiday by Gaslight. This is a historical romance novella with a holiday romance, so by Mimi Matthews. And this is because Tara and B are doing this for the book club. It's a novella. It'll help me get to read a historical romance, and I'm not typically a person that likes to read holiday romances. I don't know, call me a Grinch. I'm a little bit of a rebel. The only kind of seasonal reading that I like to do is the gothic around the Halloween time, gothic romance, dark stuff like that. So paranormal, the whole thing for spooky season or whatever. And then for winter, not necessarily a theme for a holiday, but just like snow and that whole thing, like around January and February. So that's really it for me. That's as much seasonal you'll get from me. This one looks like, it sounds really good, like it's going to be like an emotional one, new to me author. And then we have Captured by the Pirate Laird. This is book 1 in Highland Force by Amy Jarecki. This is our mood reader book club that I do with April from Happily Ever April. And this is going to be our final book for the year. This is a historical romance. It is a Scottish pirate that captures this woman off of the ship that he's plundering. And she was wed by proxy to this baron who's very, very old and whatnot and doesn't have the greatest reputation. And so she's kind of dreading it. She thinks she's going to die when the hero comes in and he captures her away. They start having feelings, but then all of a sudden, and he sends a letter to her husband, and then her husband actually sends a letter back for terms, and now they have to come to terms with the fact that they put themselves in a bit of a pickle. So this one sounds really good and messy and adventurous and fun, and I hope it's a little bit more emotional too as well, so I'm looking forward to that. Our reading sprint will be on Friday, December 5th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be on my channel for the reading sprints, and then the live show will be Friday, December 19th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a little bit different day and time for our live shows, just because with the holiday season, we can't really do the third Sunday of the month with the whole, you know, holiday and things like that. Would love to have you join. And then the final one is I have an arc. This one might be a maybe. I know I'm just trying to get a little bit ahead of the game. And I have a second one as well. So this is an arc that I got from NetGalley. I got an email from the publisher. This one is, I think it used to be Indie, is getting picked up. I'm not exactly sure. I can't remember. But it sounds interesting. It's a dark romantasy. It has a Fey assassin. She has a power of illusion. She's sworn to a king that she dislikes. And then, but a grim reaper who is searching for freedom. They collide in an unlikely alliance brimming with desire and destruction. It has enemies to lovers, shadow daddy, female assassin who did this to you, unlikely alliance. He falls first, banter, touch her and die, slow burn. Oh, so they're looking for like some like weapon artifact kind of a thing. So that sounds like really cool and adventurous. So we'll see how that one goes. This one is going to be publishing February 10th in 2026. So I'm trying to get ahead of the game. This will most likely be read at the end of December, early January, so I'm trying to put it for December to see if I can get focused to it. If I can get it read earlier, that'd be great, because I do believe I have another arc. I don't want to have to be forced to read 2 arcs in a very short month, so I'm trying to be on time. Alright, so those are all the ones that I'm going to be, that's on the current shuffle for the TBR, and you know, as I said, these are hopes and dreams, and these are never set in stone, because by the time the mid-month comes around, I am in a totally different mood. I may divert from that. The reason why I want to do this pull for TBR is I want to try to pull at least one more historical romance, so I could try to get a little bit more to make that goal. Is it really bad that I don't even know how I am on my tracking? Yes, it's fine. We won't talk about that. We'll do it later. It'll be a surprise to me. It'll be a surprise to you. So we'll both be surprised at the same time. And we'll do a pull for historical romance for me to read, which is the pink one. So we'll do that real quick. See if I can. What is this? Okay. Petals on the River by Kathleen E. Woodowis. Okay. I think this one was on here because it was actually recommended by a viewer. So this is actually kind of cool. Here it is. Okay. Alright. So this is that one. So this is Petals on the River. I hear this one's like dark or whatever. So yeah, we'll see if I can get to this one. Gosh, how many pages is that one? It's 547 pages. Okay. We'll see if I can get to this one. It's a very long book. But we'll do our best. Alright, so Petals on the River. Alright, so that is it. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what is on your TBR. I would love to know. How are you doing so far on your reading goal? I would love to know. Alright, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.